Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan is due to testify at the State Capture Commission next week, but his affidavit has already been leaked. The minister also has a date with the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, who wants to quiz him on former SARS Deputy Commissioner Ivan Pilay's early retirement. Political analyst Somadoda Figeni joins us now to discuss these developments. Good evening, Dr. Figeni. Thanks very much for your time. Let me start with the public protector issue. Pravin Gordhan is taking issue with that. He believes it's an abuse of power. Your thoughts?
Well, I do think that given his history of being chased by the Hawks, the NPA, he might be having a legitimate issue in that. But at the same time, it might also be in his interest to clear himself on this particular matter, especially at the time when it looks like political arrows from some opposition members and some members within the ANC have started pointing in his direction, so that we create an impression that no one is immune. If he goes through the process, explain himself, it might actually help in the long run.
That's what one would have thought, irrespective of that history and, of course, the history of state capture. But let's get to some of what has come out of his affidavit from the reports that we have seen today, starting with the whole Nhlanhla Nene as firing, which, of course, we all know precipitated a currency crash. He reckons that an investigation into that would clarify a lot of things.
Certainly, the Nhlanhla Nene was a Damascus moment for the country, because that's when you realize that Treasury itself was at stake. That's when you realize the deadliness of those who wanted to have access to some of the critical programs and procurements which would have changed the country for generations to come.
And Pravin Gordhan, of course, goes on to detail how former President Jacob Zuma grudgingly reappointed him finance minister following that crash, of course, even if it was just to calm the markets.
That is what we already know, but what is most important will be the details that are revealed around some of the transactions or the influences or the pressures put on him as the finance minister, especially matters around the nuclear deal has been shrouded either in secrecy or in terms of the kinds of rumors that have been coming. If now we begin to see or get concrete evidence of what was happening in Treasury or in other related departments, that in itself, I think, means that the Commission is getting to the heart of the matter.
From what you have read, does he get into that detail though? Because it seems like he's making every effort to deliberately, shy away or stay away from divulging what happened at Cabinet, for example, where, if we take your example of the nuclear deal, it was discussed and apparently approved.
Certainly, at times, he defines himself out of these processes, and it will then be up to the Zondo Commission to make sure that even the Cabinet itself, if needs be, and the members thereof will have to do what was being discussed, and which one of the Cabinet members were aware of the bigger scheme. And that in itself is in public interest, and that would actually be at the very heart of this particular commission.
Of course, he also corroborates Nhlanhla Nene's testimony that the president really wanted that nuclear deal with the Russians.
Certainly, now it looks like we're closer to saying it's no longer just speculation or rumors. It's a reality, because these were the critical ministers. Most important now will be how President Zuma was up to this point no one is pointing a finger in my direction in this commission. How he will react to what increasingly is pointing in his direction.
Okay, apologies for that not so great line. Political analyst Soma Dota Fike.